Welcome to Two Wheels, and on this week's show my little friend Wayne takes a ride on a couple of the very latest trendy scooters. But first of all, we're all off to sunny Spain, where I have a little question for you. Now, what do you think is the most important safety feature of your motorcycle? Well, today you've got bikes with anti-lock brake systems, haven't you? ABS, we've got CBS, combined braking system, link brakes and all the rest of it. We've got fancy high-tech suspension systems. Well, I'll tell you what the most important safety feature is. It's this, a tyre, a piece of rubber, because this is your only contact with the road. Now, we've come here to the Ricardo Tormo. In fact, it's the Valencia Grand Prix Circuit here in sunny Spain. Myself and some crazy motorcycle journalists from all over the world are going to ride some of the best superbikes around today on the circuit, and they're all fitted with Cooper Avon's brand new Azarro ST and SP tyres. Just a quick word about the format of the day, the way it all works here in Valencia today. We get down to the circuit nice and early this morning. We got us all out of bed really early, which wasn't easy, believe me, into the pit garage and a presentation, a kind of multimedia presentation with flashing lights and sound systems and that. Quite interesting and also quite technical. Then it's the main part of the day and the bit that we're all looking forward to. Out here into the pit lane, where they've got a fleet of fantastic machines all fueled up with new tyres ready to go. Jump on one, ride it all around all day. Fantastic. You want to know what we're riding? This is going to really upset you now. I don't like to do this to you. Honda SP1, 2001 Fireblade, CBR 600 Sport, VFR 800, the new one, two GSXR 1000s, GSXR 750, 600, two R1s, Aprilia Mille. Now, as I'm sure you're already aware, they already have a complete range of tyres, so why on earth do they need a new range? Well, the man who knows the answer to that is my old mate Leo Smith. So Leo, why on earth do you need some new tyres?
Well, as you know, with motorcycles, they're continually getting faster, lighter, more powerful, and so we in the tyre industry have to keep on our toes as well.
So what extra will this range have that the other one didn't have? What new qualities have you introduced then?
These ranges are quite significantly different from the Azarros that are on the street at the moment. With the 2 years we've spent with this tyre in development, we've developed 4 brand new technologies to add into these tyres to further enhance their performance.
So is it you that decides then, because you're motorcycle product manager, is that right?
That's right.
So is it your job to say, hang on a minute, we better get some new tyres out? Is that what you do?
Basically, yeah. It's my job to come up with the concept for new ranges, the sizes, where we're going to sell it, how we're going to sell it, how we're going to take it to market, and when, what equipment we'll need. And once that's finalised in my mind and with the company, we then pass that through to the design people, who obviously then design the tyres, and then it goes into the testing phase.
Right, that's Pete McNally, isn't it, Mr. Design Man?
Pete McNally.
I'll go and find him.
As we call him, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog McNally.
Oh, I won't tell him you told me that. Well, we've come away from the pits area now because it's a right racket out there. All these crazy journalists thrashing these bikes up and down the track. And I've come to talk to this man, Pete McNally, who's the tyre designer, Leo told me. Yes. Right, so Leo, he says we need a new range of tyres. He says it's got to do this, that and the other. Gives you a brief. Where on earth do you start from then?
Depends on the design brief. If I'm told we want a sport touring tyre, I mean, quite often we just take what we've already got. We might have to enhance mileage or concentrate more on wet grip, dry grip. All depends on what we're looking for. I mean, whether it's going to be a sport tyre or a sport touring tyre, and then we just go for the characteristics that are needed in that tyre.
So you can tweak what you've already got, kind of thing. You don't have to start from scratch, obviously, again.
No, I mean, obviously most of the time we take what we've got and then we just try and improve in every area we can.
That's very complicated, all this, isn't it?
I mean, yes, making tyres is not easy. It's a very difficult job.
So what's Pro Extreme then? That's stickier,
yeah, that's our track day tyre. So I mean, there's a lot of people who are doing track days now, more and more in England. Yeah. So it's not a race tyre, but it's like a race type construction, very sticky tyre, and people can ride to the circuit, do a whole track day, ride home again.
Now I've got one final question, Pete, and Leo told me to ask you this. Why do they call you Mad Dog?
I'm not telling you. Last year, of the last launch, you said I've got a rubber fetish.
That's right.
As well. I agreed to that, but I'm not telling you why I've got my nickname.
It's getting very, very hot here now in Valencia, and I'm not just talking about the action out on the track. This sun is getting warmer and warmer. By the minute it seems, surely by now it must be siesta time. It's that warm I even have to take my leathers off to try and chill out. So I'm going to go and find some shade. You take a look at my little friend Wayne doing what he does best, playing with some scooters, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to our very fine emporium, our top-class motorcycle sales division. Can I be of some help to you, sir? Yes, you can actually. I was after a bike to get me to work. You see, I've moved to Castleford, which is about 20 miles away from Leeds town centre. I've just got a job in Leeds and I want to get from Castleford to Leeds economically and quickly. You know, because the traffic's terrible at the moment. It's stuck on the motorway and all that. That'd probably take an hour and a half if I went in the car. So I thought a bike would be a good idea. Well, sir, a bike would be the ideal form of transport to use. Did you have any particular type of motorcycle in mind? Because we've got such a large range, you see. Well, I fancy the idea of a nice, shiny, modern, stylish thing, you know, but in the same respect, I like the idea of the ease of riding an automatic scooter. You know, one of these latest 125 4-strokes that go 1,000,000 miles to the gallon and all that sort of thing. Have you got anything like that? Oh, gosh, hard work this. Oh, never mind. Of course we have, sir. We've got just the thing for you. You see, there's so many different things available nowadays. We've got all sorts. I'll tell you what, you'd think modern technology could make this job just a little bit easier. So what about the combination of a bike and a scooter? Well, not a problem. We have got something new and revolutionary that'd fit that bill perfectly. If you'd just like to follow me, sir, I'll give you a little demonstration. You know that salesman? I certainly wouldn't trust him. What a dodgy geezer he is. Well, he would be. It's my twin brother. He said, I'll do you a special deal. He's given me a glove, a bungee strap and one sock. I've got to buy the others myself. Blinking it, no sort of deal if you ask me. But anyway, who cares? The fact is, I know exactly what he was on about. He's on about this baby. You should know of this bike just as well as I should, because I showed you this when we were at the NEC bike show, the International Motorcycle Show back at Birmingham there. And it was this, the DNA, Gilera DNA. And it is a motorcycle looking thing, but it works like a scooter. A rev and go, you might say. A 125 4-stroke engine in that, and this is its sister machine. This is the Runner by Gilera, and that's got the 125 4-stroke engine in it as well. So I fancy having a go on both of them to see which is ideal for the job I want it for.
You know, it's not difficult to see, is it? Why they do these things in places like this, Spain. It's actually at 22, 23 degrees at the moment. It's not quite mid-afternoon yet. It's going to get slightly warmer. And believe it or not, this is February. February t-shirts. This does not happen in the UK. That's why they have to come abroad to do these things. So with that, I'm going to hand you back now to cold, wet, miserable, probably raining UK, home. And you can join me after the break back here in Spain when we'll be chatting with the chief test rider, Peter Wilson. He is fantastic on a motorcycle. You won't believe it when you see him. He's incredible. And we'll see how some of the other journos are enjoying their day. Now then, what for not ridden yet? Oh, they've all gone out. Oh well, some will be back in a minute. GSXR 600 looks like good fun. Not been on one of them for a few weeks.
So then, what is my opinion on this DNA 1254 4-stroke? Well, it's different, all right. The size of the thing, well, I'll be honest with you, I now know what Shaq O'Neal feels like when he rides a 916 Ducati. I felt monstrous, I felt huge on it, which is very rare for me because I am about the same size as most 13-year-olds. So normally bikes are too big for me. This is nearly too small. In respect to its practicality, well, it rides like a scooter. It performs like one when it goes around the corners, and it stops just like one because it's effectively the same in that department. But what about the sort of bits you want to carry in it? Well, normally when I park up with my scoot and go in the shop, I stick my helmet under the seat. You can't do it with this because there's not room under the seat, certainly not for a crash helmet. Haha, but under the tank there is, because when you lift the tank up like that, which is a dummy cover, lo and behold, the helmet fits under there. And then if you do in fact want to get under the seat, it's very easy to do so. My gloves live down there. So that side of it is about the same. But I'm not honestly sure whether I like the fact that it isn't a scoot, because I love my scoots. So I do believe this is the perfect opportunity for me to try the sister bike to this DNA, and that is the Runner, which is over there. But I want you over here. Come here. Oi, come here. Oh, flip it, look at that. Just by magic. Paul Daniels, eat your heart out. There she is. And this is the 125 Runner. Now then, it's very similar in respect to the engine, but you can see it's very obviously different. It's very much like your regular scooters. It's quite tall here-like because it's not really a step-through form. This is all quite bulky, so you either put your leg over there or you might mount it like you do a normal motorcycle. But the rest of it is just like a regular scooter. In this case, it's posh version because it's got a screen on it. And also, I like this little feature, something and nothing, but if you press in the key like that, that exposes where you put the petrol. So you don't actually have to get under the seat to put your fuel in on this particular model, and there is no two-stroke oil anymore. That might just save you a few quid if you do a few miles over the year. But do I like it as much as that? Well, proof is in the pudding. I need to take it for a spin, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. So, if I were to choose between these two, that's the very bright yellow DNA 125 or this, the subtle silver VX 125 Runner, I'm not really very sure, to be honest with you. In fact, I am positive I'd choose neither. And the reason for that is very simple, because the Runner here happens to be done in a 180cc two-stroke that has a 0 to 60 in about the same as a Ferrari. Now that is what I call a scooter. I think I'll go for one of them.
Welcome back to Spain, to sunny, warm Valencia. Siesta time is over and it's back to work now, and going around this circuit somewhere today is a blue blur. He's a blur and the bike's a blur as well. It's a chap called Peter Wilson. He's the chief test rider and he certainly knows his stuff when it comes to tyres. And if I can catch up with him, well, there's no chance of that, is there? I'm going to wait till he comes back in and then we'll have a chat. Peter, you've been impressing us all day around the circuit, been watching you, but it's pretty obvious that you've not always just been a motorcycle tester, so give us a potted history of your biking career then.
Well, I started racing when I was younger, road racing, and raced for 11 and a half years in Canada and North America, well, a little bit in the States and whatnot, and in 95 and 96 captured the RACE Canadian Superbike Championship, 95, 96, and also Super Sport Championships the same year. Retired from racing in 97 and went into motorcycle journalism.
Well, some people would say you've got a better job than me, but you've got a much more responsible job than I have, because you really need to know. So, I mean, what do? You're a tyre tester. You don't just go and do lap after lap after lap, do you?
Sometimes you have to. Yeah. I mean, when we're testing to see how long a tire is going to last, and a lot of rigorous testing with stability testing, shimmy testing.
Yeah. So do you have little sort of routines that you do? I mean, do you do crazy things on the bike? Like,
I wouldn't call it crazy.
No, not crazy things, but what I'm saying is, do you have to put the bike into situations that it may not normally get into? What sort of things do you do then?
Well, for instance, I mean, whatever the bike will do flat out, we have to do, and then raise ourselves up out of the seat, and please nobody try this, but
yeah.
And then shake the bars to see if it'll induce any weave or anything like that. So unfortunately, some of those bikes, that means like 185 miles an hour when you're lifting yourself up off the seat.
Wow.
So that's pretty quick. And
that is.
We do shimmy tests where we will go up to about 60, 70 miles an hour, sit up, release the bars, and if they go into a tank slapper, we basically ride it out to see what speed they come in and come out at. And
that's pretty hairy stuff, that, isn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't on the job description.
I bet it wasn't, yeah. This is kitted out though, isn't it? You've got quite a bit of logging equipment on this, so besides your input, there's a lot of technical...
Yeah, that makes sure that I tell them the truth.
Ah, yeah, so that knows if you're lying.
That's right, or if I'm getting tired.
But you know what, Peter McNally, tyre designer, I was chatting with Peter before, and he was saying, basically, what you say goes.
Yeah.
And that's a tremendous responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of weight on my shoulders today.
It is a lot of weight on your shoulders, yeah.
I'm kind of relieved that it's coming out the way it is.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, do you miss racing?
My parents are going to get all worried now, so is my fiance, but
They're
yes.
going to say, you do?
At times I do. I mean, it's the adrenaline rush and I think the tension before the racing that I miss.
Right.
You know, that's the biggest thing that I miss, because I get to ride quick all the time. So
that's right. Well, you have to ride quick all the time, don't you?
Yeah, so I mean, that side of things. So, well, I mean, saying that, we don't just, I mean, I do lots of miles on the road as well. Yeah. With the tyres to make sure that they're
yeah, because it's not all about, a lot of people who buy these things and ride these bikes never go on a track, do they?
Absolutely. Yeah. So they have to, I mean, that's what they have to fit. They have to do everything.
Right. And do you think they've got it right this time?
Absolutely.
Well, that's the opinion of their chief test rider, but what did some of the other journalists think about this new range?
Well, the sports touring tyre is very impressive for its type. Performing well above its category, and there's real sporting potential in it. There's grip levels beyond what anyone would expect from it. Plus you've still got the bonus of long life. The sports tyre, again, is beyond expectations. You can do things on that bike that you wouldn't expect to, and on all the bikes here. Provides very good feedback session after session. Didn't fade. Can't wait for the race version.
I don't know, they're just really good tyres, a lot more than I expected from especially the sport touring tyre. And the CBR 600, it's enough for a track day for most people. And the sport tyre, it'll do the mileage, you could ride down here, the track day, go home again.
It's been a great day and quite surprising really. The tyres are, they're not ultimately the most grippy track day tyres that you'll get, but they're as good as any road rider with a road bike is going to need. I haven't been on a bike today that I needed to get more grip from.
Now, if like me, you're a motorcycle rider, you probably hate being a pillion rider. I hate riding pillion because I never know what the rider's going to do. There aren't many people that I would trust to take me as a pillion rider, but one man I will trust, which is why we've come over here. We're on the infield now, which is a not quite as fast a circuit, but it's very tight, very twisting, very technical. Wish me luck, because I'm going on the back with the chief road tester, Peter Wilson. I'll see you in a little while, I hope. that was truly awesome. There's not many people I'd get on a bike and let them do that with. One or two, yes, but not very many. But that was a tremendous ride. And now I know why I've not been going around so fast, because I've seen parts of the circuit there that I'd never seen before, and realise then, don't you, when you go around with someone proper, that you've been taking completely the wrong line, and there's bits of corners that I didn't know existed. Anyway, that's another story. That's it from here in sunny Valencia, sunny Espanyol. I think the tyres are smashing along with everyone else. We've had a smashing weekend, it's been really good, the weather is beautiful, and that's been my favourite bit. But just to prove that we don't always get to sunny places, next week we're back in cold, soggy, damp Blighty. Take a look at this. Now, for all you people who think I've got a glamorous job, welcome to the Peak District National Park. It is the Peak District, you wouldn't know it, because it's thick fog and it's freezing cold, and further up the road it's flipping snowing, would you believe? They've sent me out to tell you all about this, the beautiful, gorgeous new 2002 Honda Fireblade. But I tell you what, it's no fun riding a bike in weather like this, it really isn't, so I'm sorry lads, I'm not doing it. No, not. What do you mean I can ride slow? That's no, look at the colour of the bike. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll tell you all about it next week. I'm not doing it. Sorry, you've had it. No chance.